Good morning, Pomfret. Your first chapel speaker is the biggest sweet cheeks lover. Your second chapel speaker has been driving since he was 5, and your third chapel speaker is unfortunately from New Jersey. Your chapel speakers today are Cindy Wong, Colton Kendig, and Zane Enders. Enjoy.
Good morning, Pomfret. To be completely transparent, I started writing this speech 2 nights ago, without much direction on where it's going. Like many others who've stood in this chapel before me, I've tossed ideas in the air restlessly, trying to land on something that felt right. The last 2 weeks, I've toyed with previous ideas I've heard from my past 3 years. How injury has shaped someone, the importance of family, the list goes on. None of these felt fitting for my speech today, though, so I decided to start thinking about the things that have shaped who I am. The thing I noticed about each thing was more often than not, my brother Austin had been involved in some way, shape, or form. Things like hockey, racing, skiing, and other topics came to my mind, yet I found myself thinking about how Austin was always involved. Austin, being 4 years older than me, was the first to play hockey and race and do all these things that I found an extreme interest in from a young age. This became so much of an issue in the family that my parents had to start color-coding things red and blue to indicate which was mine versus his, because we had so many similar interests and to prevent altercation. Though I haven't admitted it to him, or really anyone in the family, although it's obvious, he has shaped me into the majority of the person I am. Being able to follow his footsteps and watch him find success, as well as extreme adversity, has shown me ways to be more successful than I believe I would be otherwise. Just like any other brothers, though, my brother and I's relationship over the course of my life has been a complete roller coaster, as per usual between brothers. Starting from the second I was brought home from the hospital when he famously said, "When do we bring him back?" due to me being the center of attention. I hope you're happy they didn't. Growing up, he and I would fight regularly, but always had the occasional brotherly love moments, times where we would go out to get food or a random side quest during summer to kill time. If you know Austin, you know that he and I are also quite different, which probably just fueled the fires between us when we were younger. But slowly, I've come to learn that the differences we have are the reason we get along so well now. That's something I've come to appreciate more than I would have thought. My parents always said that someday we'll come to love each other and reflect back on all the times we fought and disagreed and laugh. I think it's safe to say we can do that now. Thinking back on all the things we've done, there's certain memories and moments that come to my mind specifically. The most vivid of these also have a common theme of a lesson that I'd learned from him. The first time he taught me to backflip on a trampoline, his pre-race pep talk my dad snapped a photo of and brings up every once in a while. There's so many instances of him teaching me things that I never understood the true meaning of in the moment or appreciated nearly as much as I do now, knowing all I know. Even in school, although we never did and most likely won't ever have the chance to be in school together, he has pushed me to be my best self in ways he didn't know. Austin graduated from Pomfret in the class of 2022 and set the standards for me higher than expected. For being a super involved member of the community and achieving high marks in classes, it put immense pressure on me. His standard was something I understood I most likely wouldn't be able to achieve, but it was my competitiveness along with the understanding that he was able to do it that drove me in and out of the classroom to set my goals higher than what I believed achievable. This led me down my own path, though, one where I didn't have anyone to refer to when I felt lost. But the ability to adapt and understand everything around me much better I still held. I, for one, want to go to school for mechanical engineering, reflecting my avid tinkering in the garage late nights. Austin, on the other hand, declared his major in marketing near the halfway point at college with a minor in music, reflecting his innate talent with instruments and songwriting. His time at Pomfret before and after has carved an outline for me to stay within, but provided me with the tools to succeed within the areas of my life I enjoy so much. Finding my own niche, straying from Austin's footsteps, was something I expected but didn't recognize the full influence he'd have on it and my success within. Even outside of academics and athletics, I've learned to control the controllables in my life and let the rest go, to which I'm envious of his ability to do so. This I truly understood 2 years ago when my dad got a new job, taking him out to Pittsburgh with limited visits back to Connecticut. Personally, it was my first time living without both parents for an extended period of time, and had a chokehold on me due to the relationship my dad and I have. He was always my biggest supporter and pushed me to be what he knows I can be. Without having him in the house and the lack of connection we had, interrupted by distance and work or school, I found myself upset regularly, unmotivated, and in a sense, lost in my own mind. I felt secluded to myself with homework and a quiet house with just my mom and our dogs. I knew I was unhappy and I couldn't control the situation and could only adapt. It was then I started reaching out to Austin more. I found myself feeling more lively. He provided me with distractions when I needed them and things to pass time while also bettering myself. We started talking more on the phone, and I tried to go out to see him and my dad whenever I got the chance, whether for a football game or some other event. Our phone calls were extensive, sometimes hour-long, where we would go on tangents about the things in our lives and fill each other in on each of our latest endeavors. That was about the time I also started to tell my brother I loved him more, even give him a proper hug aside from the usual half hugs I used to give him when I was saying goodbye. I started to realize that everything I had watched him do through his experiences were reflected in me more than I would have ever known. He has made me realize the importance of small things and how impactful they can be. No, I won't ever be Austin or anything close to him. He'll always be more musically inclined and a much better singer than I ever will. He'll always be taller and faster than me, but he'll always be my brother, like it or not. He's always the person I'll go to first with big news, good or bad, no matter what. He's always had my back and been able to pull me out of whatever's going on in my life. Closing the void we had from being classic arguing brothers to having the relationship we have now is something I'll cherish forever. And although he may hate me for being the annoying little brother sometimes, I hope he realizes how much he's impacted my life for the better. Now for some gratitudes. Mr. Lake, thank you for putting up with me as my advisor for the extent of my time at Pomfret and supporting me through everything I've dealt with academically. Outside of that, thank you for the guidance you've given me on life in general and everything you've done for me behind the scenes. I promise I appreciate it more than I express. To all my teachers I've had throughout the past 3 years, thank you for your devotion to my education and unwavering support. Mo and P-Pop, I'm sure this is the last thing that you guys expected out of me after watching Austin and I grow up. But thank you for your constant support and for creating an environment where I can truly call home. I love you both so much. Mom, thanks for always being my go-to when I need something and for putting up with me these past 17 years. Without you, I don't know where I'd be, and I'm forever grateful for everything you do, even though I don't say it enough. Thank you for being the woman you are. I love you, Mom. Dad, thank you for being my number one no matter what. From hundreds of practices and games to the 7,000-mile trip this past summer, I really don't know what I'd do without you. Thank you for always supporting me, even when my thumb's broken at 8 a.m. after our first run at Killington. You've taught me everything a dad could, and I hope one day to be half the man you are. I love you, Dad. Austin, I bet this wasn't what you expected when I asked if I could mention you in my speech. Anyways, you're probably tired about hearing about yourself, but I don't know what I'd do without you. Having you as my brother means more than you could ever know. You making the trip home also means more than you probably understand. But I love you. My name's Colton Kendig. I'm a 4-year senior here on the Hilltop. Thank you.
Good morning, Pomfret. I want to say a huge thank you to our senior speakers of the day, to Cindy for reminding us that life is not a waiting room for something better, to Colton on the importance of siblings in our lives and their impact on our growth, and to Zane for the exhortation to try our best every day. So with gratitude, I invite our senior speakers to lead us out of the chapel.